I'm Stephen Hann from Archery Supplies, and today I'm here to talk about archery targets. There's a lot to choose from with archery targets, and it's my biggest area of complaint from customers when they buy a target. They buy these expensive targets, they shoot holes in them, and they go, look, I've only been shooting these targets a while and I've shot a hole in it. Now these targets behind me, these are made in Vietnam. I'm not going to say their name because there's a big fight going on at the moment about the name of this target. These are made from layered foam, so the yellow is actually soft. Then it's got a hard layer of, I'm going to say plastic, and then another soft layer, and then a hard layer. This black stuff here is quite hard, and it's actually very hard foam, so you want to keep your arrows in the yellow. But it's quite soft. As a result, easy to pull your arrows out, but you tend to blow holes. And you'll see here I blow holes out of my target. Now this is shooting indoors, 18 meters, high-powered compounds. You're going to blow holes in your target. It doesn't matter what target you shoot, you're going to blow holes in it. Now some people argue the point that one target's better than another target. And you see with this combination here, I've got all these different spots to aim at. Now this target costs the same as a single spot target, so you think this is going to be better value. But when I blow this spot out, I've got to buy a new one. And the new replacement center is about $50. Now this whole target ballpark price is around $450 in this brand. There's other targets on the market, Elven, Denage. There's a whole bunch of people who make these targets, and their targets are around $800. Now I've tried the different targets. Now my opinion, for what it's worth, this target seems a good lasting target. I seem to blast out these, but this doesn't really, the centers, it doesn't really worry me, because what I do is I stuff, basically, when I say junk, recycled plastic, shrink wrap's really good. I stick plastic in here, and you can see there. The harder the plastic, the longer it lasts. The softer the plastic, you'll see up here, I've stuck some stuff in, that's really soft foam. So the arrow's going real easy, but you'll blast a hole out. Now if you're shooting a light power recurve, not going to be much of a problem. You're not going to blast holes in these targets very quickly with a light power recurve. However, with a 60-pound compound, shooting big fat arrows, you're going to blast holes in these targets. Now there are other targets on the market. This here is an Elven Core. I think they call it Elven. Now this is really nice to shoot into. It's very soft, arrows pull out easy. But what I found is the center crumbles. So I can't actually stick plastic inside this. So for me, there wasn't much I could do to repair this target once it crumbled. Now the price on these cores around $100 versus these cores, which are around the $50, $60. Now, these are some of the replacement cores. You can see I've stuck plastic in there. Now, the other alternative, and what I do is I use a 3D paste. It's expanding. It's sold by Mackenzie's or Delta. And I basically put the paste in there, it expands, and I basically get another use out of this. So I stick plastic inside. I then seal it with 3D. It's a 3D foam. So I get extra use out of these targets, and I basically keep a collection of them. The little skinny ones are probably $45, which are around the edge here. But basically, stick plastic inside, and yeah, use 3D paste, and you get another life. Now, there's a whole bunch of different targets. This is the block from Field Logic. Now, what this is layered foam. So your arrows are actually caught in this foam. Now, once again, this has had arrows, and you can see it's been shot here. This target lasts pretty long. The price on this target is around ballpark, Australian dollars, probably around $150. Now this actually captures the arrows. It doesn't actually stop them, if that kind of makes sense. So when you shoot this target, the arrows generally come out the back. Now with the foam here, they generally don't. So I find these are really good to pull your arrows out of, but you tend to get soft spots in them. So this is where we shoot our indoors. You can see there I can put my finger straight through. So even though they're good, and they are good, you still shoot holes in them. So this is more expensive, bit wider. So there's no perfect solution with a target. Now the target I actually like, it's not taking anything away from these. There's bag targets, which are really nice. What's popular about this is a nice flat face, so you can stick your target face to it and shoot competition rounds and score really, really well. The target I normally like, and we're going to go outside and I'll show you those, it's a target which basically I stuff full of plastic, shade cloth on the outside, and I shoot at that. Low cost, wooden frame. I get the plastic from Woolworths, which is a supermarket, compressed bales, and shade cloth is pretty affordable. And I just staple it together and I shoot it. Very easy to pull my arrows out, low cost. And when I do shoot the plastic out, I just stick more plastic in there. And they're the targets I actually make up and I sell to customers. Doesn't give you a nice flat face, but I find they last long, low cost. I'm very much into cost because this costs every time you shoot. If I was to estimate how much it costs every time you shoot one of these with a compound, probably around $5 every time you shoot. So we sell little portable targets of this for about $100 odd. Will you get 20 shoots out of it? Yeah, probably. And the replacement centers are actually wider, so the replacement center, $55, you're going to get shoots out of it. But just recycle it. We'll go outside and I'll show you these other targets. Now this is the target I make up for shooting outdoors. I like this. I've shot at many archery ranges that have got them. It's just basically filled with plastic, and you see this is the shade cloth is all shot out here. It's a big hole, but the plastic stays inside because when you're shooting, you're actually pushing the plastic back. Now the face itself is not particularly flat, so for me, practice shooting, I like it. But it doesn't enable you to shoot the big scores that you can get with a flat target face. But cost-wise, really cheap, easy to build, easy to maintain, easy to pull your arrows out. So I really like this target face. Now, one of the other things I like about this target, I was shooting the Nationals and we were shooting Denage targets, and it was wet. My arrow went straight through the target bar, and I was shooting with another person. He had 4 pass-throughs on that target. I had 1 pass-through, so I lost my score, and I shot pretty well that end. I shot 9.987 and I had a miss. Now my arrow was straight behind the target on the ground, so it was impossible that it hit the target and just dropped. So it was definitely a pass through, but the target face was torn apart. So and those Denage targets, pretty expensive. I'm going to guess around the $800-900 mark, and to have pass throughs for me, not acceptable. So but the Archery Society uses them because it's convenient for them. They don't have the maintenance of this type of target, and they do have these targets, but they are going to take them out of their rotation because it requires someone to maintain them. With a foam target, you buy the foam target, you buy the core, done. So you don't need anyone maintaining it. So there are basically different types of targets. There's other targets made out of carpet where people layer them, but they're the major ones that you buy. But just bear in mind, you are going to have a maintenance cost with these target faces. They're not free to shoot at unless you're shooting something like this, and this is very, very low cost. So I'm Stephen Hann from Archery Supplies. Enjoy your archery and try making a target. The problem with this is it's quite heavy and hard to move around. So thank you. Bye.